See if this door's locked again today. We're here to pick up some public records. It's not. One second. That should be good. Oh, this is nice. Anyway. So I've got the conference room. 8 a.m. Oh, yeah. Not really in the mood to deal with these chuckle fucks. It's been a long morning, so I'm probably just gonna pay them, get these documents, and get up out of here. Jeff, observer. Good morning. Not too bad, Jeff. Quick visit. You let me know when you're ready for me. I got some information for you, and I'm gonna try to cut out.
You'll be helped in a second.
All right. Happy Friday the 13th. Thought about testing my luck today, but it's already been a pretty stressful morning. My tolerance for this nonsense is already done for the day. And how I get the records is not what's important so much as what the records contain. So, going for the path of least resistance still. Hoping that I can get up out of here with these and just go through them at home with some coffee and cigarettes. Cindy, how are you this morning? Amazing comment, by the way. Appreciate that. The old Facebook stuff yesterday. Anyway, trying to be quiet so I don't disturb anyone. That's how they get you trespassing and disorderly conduct and such. Anyway, I guess the man with the plan here. All right.
Morning.
Question.
We match.
Can I still purchase those copies?
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
Is that what you want to do today?
It's been a busy morning and I got a busy day ahead of me, so
Okay.
I figure, I'll just go ahead and pay you guys.
Okay,
I'll
sounds
probably
good.
end up buying them anyway, so.
Okay,
Save
I'm just going to
everybody
go
some time.
grab the receipt and then I'll,
No worries, yep.
Okay.
Is it 54 or 5380?
I guess the original was 5380, so I mean,
All right.
we'll go ahead and stick with that, okay? But we'll
I can
grab
do
the
that.
receipt.
Yep, not a problem.
Is Dale Boss in? She's in the right now. She'll be back. Before lunch? Okay.
I need
Yeah.
help.
He's got to fill out a protective order.
Okay,
And
is
it's,
there a pending criminal case?
well, there's a past one.
Okay,
There's on the same person,
okay.
and
Just a heads up, I wouldn't get too intimate.
we tried to,
Instead of doing business before.
get an order of, he's got
All right.
All right.
So here's the file. And what do you got for me there?
Oh, there's 53, let's see here. I know I got 80 cents. 5380, there you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Occasionally, that's my birthday, so.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Occasionally or not every year?
I was born on the 13th, so sometimes it falls on a Friday.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But no, May 13th, actually.
Alright.
Sometimes it falls on Mother's Day.
Okay.
All right. He said there's a list of the redactions.
There is, yes.
I presume. All right. So
I've got it right there.
Um,
It's just right on top.
I presume, like, Social Security numbers, stuff for employee personnel information would automatic. I don't have any contentions with that, but.
So the IC codes are cited on there. So if you want to research those are the reasons.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with those. That's exactly
Okay.
what I was asking about. Was if
Good.
they were APRA exceptions or whatever, state statute.
Yeah. Let me make a copy of this for you.
Yep. Not a problem.
And, okay.
You need my signature on that by chance, or
Would you like to sign it?
I'll sign it?
Sure.
CYA, man.
Sure.
I'm a big fan, as you can't tell.
Yeah, I will leave this with you. That was
All right.
yours.
Thank you.
Make a copy of this and get on with your day.
Man, that's bigger than my transcripts.
Be right back.
I'll set you right here for a minute while I load this stuff. Ooh, backup cams just. Oh, Jesus. Did I bring a big enough bag? It's not the paperwork so much as the folder. Okay, so text bud, we'll have some discussion about this when I get out of the building, because it's not so much the weight to get them once I figured out that they had them, but I had to do some digging and look into some stuff, and as far as I knew, these records didn't even exist.
There you are.
All right, thank you,
All
sir.
right, have a good one. Have a good weekend.
All right, 1 second, I'm gonna get in this elevator. Probably gonna break up my live for a minute, then I'll pick this back up when I get outside. But hold on, the elevator door just opened. I'll be right back. Mr. McCall, good morning.
Hello.
All right, so there's 540 pages. What I requested is in regards to the former Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you might remember when I caught this local pedophile guy and tried to alert the locals to him, and we had a task force that spent about $500,000, and they caught 0 pedophiles, not even the one that I handed them on a silver platter, not even the one that worked at this security station for 19 years at the courthouse, Joe Lopez. Pled guilty, got 1 day in jail. From the fine prosecutor's office where we were just at. Anyway, so this 540 pages shouldn't even have existed. When the prosecutor was going against the former prosecutor publicly, talking about all this stuff, he basically said that there was no financial logs, that the former prosecutor deleted everything. 225 gigabytes of data. That's what they said. He deleted 225 gigabytes of data. The Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force morphed into the Digital Forensics Unit, which is exactly what it sounds like. That no electronic device policy. Well, this is the task force that ends up with electronic devices of people like myself and various other First Amendment auditors. That's where my phone ends up, is this Michigan City Police Department's Digital Forensics Unit. Anyway, so being that none of these records were supposed to exist and they spent all this money, there's something very, very funky about this. They didn't catch any pedophiles. They spent $500,000. even various other public officials accused the former prosecutor of all kinds of misconduct. There was a special prosecutor that investigated it. But it would seem to me that all these locals were so involved that the prosecutor that investigated it probably didn't have enough information, considering that everything I picked up today was supposed to be non-existent. And now I've got 540 pages. So I'm very interested to see what exactly is in here, especially what's been redacted. You know, with the backstory for these documents. There should not be any redactions. There shouldn't be any missing money, any missing explanation, no gaps in the information. Every cent, every dollar should be accounted for. But according to the current prosecutor, it was a big waste of space and was used and abused. It got very political. In my opinion, it was used during a couple campaigns when a lot of other stuff was going on. I think that this task force, or the people that were working on it, were using the funds to do things other than catch pedophiles. And the number one reason I think this is because they didn't catch any pedophiles. If that's what they were doing, you know, they would have told everybody about it. They would have told the public about it. They would have lined up to get their pat on the back. But the official story is to bury everything. You know, a lot of this stuff has been hidden from the public, and I'd like to know why. I'd like to know what happened to this $500,000 of the public's money that was spent under the guise of protecting children from sex offenders, you know. Because you can get people to throw money at you for children and veterans and stuff like that, but it's important that this money actually goes towards those purposes. You know, sometimes, believe it or not, public officials will just spend money on dumb shit and lie about it. So we're gonna figure out why I got this fucking 15-20 pound bag of paperwork that, according to all the press releases, doesn't exist. All this was deleted by the former prosecutor, John Espar, supposedly. Could be the reason he never filed charges on the dude is because he didn't actually delete it. He just didn't spend the money wisely. But just the same, there's a lot of people involved. M-Star, what's up there? Jenny Jones? Shit. Chat's lighten up a little bit. Tex, Cajun Randy. Sorry, guys. H. Zook. Anyway, sorry, so shaky, man. My anxiety is through the roof today. It's been a long week. I made the mistake of going to the freaking the clerk's office before I went over to the prosecutor's office this morning. Anytime I have to deal with those idiots over there, it just gets me in a pissy mood. But that's why I elected not to hang out at the prosecutor's office. Anyway. I'll go ahead and cross here. Sorry, I'm in downtown LaPorte. If you know anything about the area, it is hell to be a pedestrian in. Our stupid little lights and all that don't work as well. I'm gonna shut this one off here. Joe Black. Yeah, and I picked up my transcripts from my secret trial as well today, so I should be able to go through and get some official quotations with page and line numbers on some paperwork that I've been waiting to file. But like I said, I had to wait for these transcripts. 540 pages. Yeah. And then I got another 120 for my transcripts that I get to go through tonight. Fortunately, I do enjoy reading, especially extensive material. Getting better with the public accounting side, I guess. You know, never been much interested in financial records, but Amanda. What's good, little sister? Chat. That's the oldest of the two younger sisters. She's making me proud in Kokomo, Indiana right now with the sister YouTube channel of the Kokomo Reporter. Be sure to check her out. She's got her own little style, but you know, I'm sure you'll see some overlap. Anyway. When they're going, I know, right? Weapon of mass destruction. Damn cell phones, man. Who knew? I remember when cops first started talking about you can't have your phone out, you know, because they could maybe possibly, who knows, anything's possible, make a gun that looks like a cell phone, and that's most likely what you have. You know, just assume all cell phones are guns. And then a couple of idiots made those motherfuckers, and now fast forward to today, these fucking cell phones are more dangerous than having a gun. Shit. If I got pulled over by the police and I felt that my safety was threatened, I would much rather have a camera on me than a fucking gun. I just gotta say. Camera might get me shot, but you know, I'm not really too concerned about, you know, with a firearm safety is pretty clean cut. If you have a gun, you can go from being the guy that is going to shoot somebody to the guy that's going to be shot. So, you know, one guy with a gun is bad enough. Somebody takes my camera and records the situation, that's different. That's going to work out for me. It just seems a lot safer to have a camera. Don't get me wrong, I support everybody's Second Amendment right. You know, I think everybody should have guns. Homeless people, fucking children, fuck it, it's the American way. Give everybody guns or nobody. Nobody having guns would be a lot more interesting because, I mean, shit doesn't just get less violent when they get rid of the guns. Look at places like the UK and whatnot. These motherfuckers are carrying around meat cleavers and shit. But anyway, excuse my little pro-firearm tangent there. I just think it's such a... Guns are so American, I don't even think about it. Just, you know, the fact that I could be perceived as having a weapon when I have a cell phone, because it seems so obviously stupid to me. But, you know, I guess if that's your thing, by all means. It's, I have to agree with the theory that behind every blade of grass, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you must not understand how that convicted felon shit works, especially here in Indiana. And you do realize in 2021, there's a lot of shit that felons can't own. I mean, you can get a .357 fucking air rifle, black powder, all that fun shit. But anyway, yeah, and the thing is in Indiana, as a felon, you actually can own a firearm. It's the federal laws that preclude that. I know this because I was charged with possession of a firearm as a state case in Indiana when I was a wee lad of 19, and it's very complicated in Indiana because it's very pro-gun, and even as a convicted felon, the state of Indiana feels that you have the right to protect yourself. So possessing a firearm in your home or while you're on your way to work, school, shit like that, isn't actually a crime in the state of Indiana, or there's a defense statute built into it. In Indiana, the reason I don't possess a firearm is because of Title 28 USC 922 G1, the Patriot Act. That's what prevents me from possessing a firearm. Federal law. Indiana state law does not prevent me from owning a firearm, even as a felon. And that's the thing is, you can get on my fucking YouTube comments and rattle off all that shit all you want. I had an actual gun case where this played out. I got indicted by the feds, and that's where my case stuck. So, I mean, if you want to use my criminal history and reference it, you should probably look into how it played out. But anyway, yeah, there's nothing of the sort in Indiana. Even as a felon, you can possess a firearm. But I can vote too, by the way. That's another common misconception. Felons can't vote. Look into Indiana's voting while they're in the jails situation. I mean, like, what you're looking for is the word disenfranchisement. When you're disenfranchised, when you become a felon, you're disenfranchised. And you lose your right to vote, seek and hold public office, and sit on a jury. Your right to possess a firearm cannot be taken, okay? Even under federal law, under the Patriot Act, I'm not violating a law per se, okay? I'm not, like, my possession of a firearm is more focused on commerce. That's why possession of a firearm under the feds is not considered a crime of violence. It's considered a transgression against our commerce, okay? But, Jesus, it's so many misconceptions and myths that you gotta, like, deal with when you try to talk about this shit, because everybody's got this thing that they've seen on Law and Order or read about on the fucking internet, and they think that's the way that shit plays out in real life. But no, in all actuality, as a felon, legally, I could argue this out in a courtroom. Under the right pretenses, of course. But same with the voting. Yeah, the courtroom is for change. That's why they barely let me in that motherfucker anymore. I just had a off-camera conversation, Cindy, with the clerk's office, where I was trying to explain to them, you know, the things about, like, equal protection of the law and access to the courts. And I was trying to explain to them that I need a disability accommodation because apparently I don't have the same rights to access the courts. Just blows their minds, like, what? What did he say? He wants to be treated equally. Like, yeah, I assume you're just doing this to my case, you know, so that you're discriminating against me. Unless what you're telling me is that you fuck up everybody's cases in the courthouse. I mean, I can believe that you fuck up everybody's cases, but it seems like you guys are purposely fucking up my cases and discriminating against me, and I don't have equal access to the courts as everybody else. Well, why does it have to be one of those two options? Like, you guys are fucking up my cases, and there's either reason A or reason B. You're either doing it on purpose or you're fucking stupid. Anyway. But, yeah. Anyway, had you guys out here on this little walk for a while. It's beautiful out, by the way. But, anyway, so I'm probably going to wrap this up. Got to make a few more stops that I'm probably not going to be on camera for. Might stop and get a bite to eat. Man, cop cars should be specifically designated. This whole, like, normal looking cop car be throwing me off. Invictus Media! Got us a celebrity in here. Whew. Warm up quick though, buddy. Warming up quick. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll probably put up a video later tonight on some of what I'm probably about to dig up in these records. Or, you know, maybe it's nothing. Who knows? Maybe it's just 540 pages of bullshit to keep me occupied. Who knows? But they didn't really seem like they wanted to give it up too bad. Seemed like they were kind of trying to hang on to him a little bit. So I presume 540 pages. I'm gonna find what I'm looking for. I know what that is, but I'm not quite sure if it's in there yet. So I don't want to say anything, but I think it just might be, and if it is, whew, I'm about to have some fun with this shit. Oh, Yeah, Dr. Savage is definitely doing it on purpose. Watch the last couple videos. I mean, they go out of their way to lock the building, have me come back, tell me 45 minutes. They gave me one option, which was to buy the documents. You know, they're on this no phone bullshit, telling me I can't be left alone to inspect them. So they give me one option, which is to basically buy the documents without it being a big deal. And when I show up and I'm like, here, take the money, give me the documents, they're like, they don't have a receipt. They weren't prepared to take the money. They needed me to have the exact change down to the penny kind of thing. Dude tells me, okay, now we need 45 minutes to make copies of the copies. Come back, you know, like after like an hour and a half, I was like, all right, I got other shit I got to do. Cut out on them. Emailed the prosecutor and was like, look, man, this is basically a constructive denial. Like, you guys are going out of your way to make it as difficult as possible. That's as good as a denial. Whether you intend on giving me the documents eventually, if you're going out of your way to make it a hindrance to the public, you know, you're affecting a denial, you know what I mean? And there's public access counselor opinions on this. I'll dig a few of them out, get some quotations from them, but I mean, if you're basically creating a scenario where the average person would say, this is too much work, too much of a problem, fuck it, I don't really need to know what these public records contain, that's a denial, all right? And no, they didn't need time to redact everything. I only went up there because he emailed me and told me that they had finished redacting everything, the copies were made, etc. So when I went up there these last couple times, all that shit was done. The investigator dude told me specifically that they had to make copies of the copies because they were documenting what they were providing to me. And he only mentioned this when I pointed out that they obviously made copies and then redacted them, as opposed to giving me the originals. They didn't redact the originals. So he was making copies of copies, and it was like a cover your ass kind of thing. So, but yeah, they had already been redacted, all that shit. The only issue last time was they said that they didn't have a receipt book, and they didn't have, excuse me, been some indigestion here. They were saying they didn't have change to give me or whatever. I tried to give them $54. It was $53.80. Then they found 2 more pages in between that day and today, and now it's 540 pages, meaning the original $54 I gave them could have worked. And whatever this dude just gave me as a receipt was some shit they went in there and typed up on a blank piece of paper and printed out. So it wasn't no official like receipt book with a carbon copy or anything like that. They created a bunch of obstacles that weren't fucking real, so that they had to then jump over these imaginary obstacles before they could complete my task, when in reality they did it the exact same fucking way I told them to do it from the beginning. And of course, it would have been easier just to email me a fucking PDF, because it's 2021 and everything these motherfuckers have gets scanned in. These are financial records. They get scanned in. Oh, here's that private number shit. But they could have sent me electronic copies. You can redact electronic documents. You know, they created a bunch more work for themselves. And had I not already had a busy ass week, I'd have been there at 8 a.m. sitting there until noon in their conference room to prove the point. But if it wasn't for this pandemic shit, I definitely would have paid them in pennies. But change is short right now. But the point is they got out of your way to create fucking issues that they then have to slow their own roll for. And it would just been much easier just to fucking do it right the first time. But they're wasting my time because they think I'm wasting their time. And that's the reality of it, I don't have the right to know what these documents say. So by me requesting them, this is like a personal attack on them. How dare he question our integrity and want to second guess us, and everything's legit, we say so. Okay, well, let me see the documents. Oh, he's inconveniencing us. He's bothering us, harassing us, hard-working public officials. So let's drag it out as long as possible and waste his time. I actually think not all pennies is worse. I think if you showed up You know, like it's $54. Go get fucking $9 in pennies, the other $45 in silver. Fucking $2 bills, $1 bills, fucking dollar coins, 50-cent pieces, and just mix all that shit up together. Put a handful at a time in a sock, and just give her one sock at a time. Okay, we're up to $7. Okay, we're up to $11. Okay, we're up to $15. Just make her count it all. Pennies, dimes, nickels. Make her separate it. But the thing is I recognize that that's not the chick at the window's problem. She's the one that has to deal with it. But in reality, it's not her fault. She's not the one in control. The prosecutor is. Him and his wife, the chief of staff. So they run the show. They should have to, if anybody should, you know, be taught a lesson with inconvenience, it should be them. And the best way, in my opinion, to do that is appeal every one of these redactions. So I didn't see quite how many redactions there was, but it looks like there's a nice little list. Out of the 540 pages, there's probably a good 20 or 30 at least. I'm gonna appeal every one of these redactions if they're bogus. Like, unless they're legitimate fucking social security numbers and all that nonsense, go ahead. I'm definitely appealing them. But each one of them will have its own individual cause number. I figured out that, you know, I appeal 2 pieces of paper, 3 pieces of paper that I've been denied at one time, and I got to fight for them together. So I'm gonna start filing for a cause number every time there's a piece of information missing. You know, so if all 540 pages have a redaction on them, that's 540 cause numbers. Yeah, we're just going to do this to make sure that nobody can use any one piece of paper to deny the next piece of paper, which is the most recent common thing that I'm dealing with is associating documents with other documents and then saying, well, these documents here haven't been released as public records yet, so these must be confidential, which is retarded. Anyway, but whew, warming up. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't hang out. Cut out early because it's just gonna get warmer. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, you guys. Foreign coins, bottle caps, yeah. Here you go, take this pocket lint. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. You guys take her easy, stay safe out there, and I'll holler at you later tonight. I got a couple more blocks before I get home, make me some coffee. We'll get started going through these, see what's what. Anyway, take her easy later, everybody. I'm all right, thank you.